Welcome back to the NBA Today Trade Deadline Special, presented by Xfinity.
I mean, he's got box office superstardom written all over him.
Oh! A jawbreaker! A human highlight reel!
Ball with no limit, yeah. Ball with no limit.
Goodness! Ja Morant, ball in his hands. Oh, Ja Morant!
Ball with no limit, yeah.
Call 12.
Might Ja Morant be on the move? Well, he started the season slowly. He dealt with some injuries, some instability with his role, but he started to turn it around over the last couple of months. And even with that, the landscape in Memphis, it has changed. They've pivoted in direction. They traded Jaren Jackson Jr. and seem to be shifting a little bit younger, maybe even towards a rebuild. So let's welcome in our reporter who covers the Memphis Grizzlies. Howdy, Tim McMahon. What can we expect here from Ja Morant as the deadline approaches rapidly?
Malika, the party's over in Memphis. They've got to find Ja a ride out of there. I would say a home, but they've got to find him a new home or he's going to stick around. And look, they were able to get a bundle of picks for Desmond Bane. Same thing with Jaren Jackson Jr. That is not there for Ja Morant. In fact, he might have negative value in the trade market because of the risk, because he has 2 max years left on his contract. I was told by one of the teams that's been frequently linked to Morant in speculation, they would have to be incentivized to consider taking Ja on. In other words, Memphis would have to send picks, attach picks with Ja to move him on. Now, 90 minutes left. We'll see what happens, but it has been a rough market for Ja, and there's no signs that's changing.
All right, 90 minutes left. We'll see if that changes. Tim McMahon, thank you so very much for that insight as we welcome Shanae Ogumake into the desk here for our trade deadline special.
Hey, girl.
My golf clubs. Yeah, Kenny's always bringing the golf clubs here. Brian, I mean, is there what's the value for Ja Morant around the league right now?
Well, something that McMahon just said there, my gosh, the idea that a team wouldn't just want Ja, but would actually want a draft pick in addition to Ja. And I think that's because the $87 million that he is owed after this season over the next 2 years, I think this is an incredible buy low opportunity in terms of what you'd have to trade for him. But the problem is it no longer becomes a low price when you owe him the $87 million. And so you look at a team like the Bucks. The Bucks are a team that has been desperate to find people to put next to Giannis. And if they think about trying to trade for Ja, it's like, okay, but if Giannis still wants to leave, now you're stuck with that $87 million and you're starting to rebuild. So if his contract was just a year shorter,
as opposed to a couple of years he has left,
he would have gotten traded weeks ago.
Okay.
But if he's going to get traded at some point, whether it's in the next hour or whether it's this summer, and he's going to have an opportunity. Somebody's going to get a great opportunity. I don't know if he's going to take advantage of it, but there's going to be an opportunity for somebody with Ja.
But it seems like that's the disconnect, right? It seems like the value of Ja Morant at his peak, there's immense value there, and yet the around the league, people aren't jumping.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This situation really makes me sick because there are a lot of people that are fans of Ja Morant. He is box office. Everyone knows his talent is through the roof, his athleticism, but there are questions about his sustainability on the court. He's only played 37% of the last 3 seasons, which is not great. And also the fit. Because when you're someone that athletic, right, you have to show that you can expand your game. And I do believe that the system that the Grizzlies had, the change that they had, did not benefit his game at all. Knocking down outside shots, absolutely need a 3 as a guard in the NBA. And these are areas of growth for him. But nonetheless, you can't keep him in front. You can't keep him downhill from getting downhill. Those are his strengths. So I do think it's a tough situation overall. And you hate to see it because this is a guy that people want to see in prime time.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, if we can honestly speak, Ja Morant trade value and everything that's happened after his off-court incidents. So after the suspension, now you're not working out with the team. Now you're prone to injuries. All of that comes from the stem of what happened off the court. And that is also the reason why, with his talent, people are apprehensive to say, well, we should make this move with him having max dollars. His talent is undeniable. LeBron James wasn't the greatest three-point shooter. He got downhill and he's able to dunk on people, and Ja Morant is the mini version of that. It does not matter. People are worried if they also trade for him, his sustainability off the court as well as on the court. So now he has two-edged sword that people are worried about, Perk. It's not just one edge. It's both edges of the sword that they're worried about.
I usually joke when I say this little saying. one foot in the grave, the other on the banana peel, but I'm dead serious when I say this. That's the situation when it comes down to Ja. He has one foot on the grave, the other on the banana peel when it comes down to his career. Ja Morant better wake the hell up, because in 2 years after this contract, he could find himself out the league. It is disturbing to hear that a guy that won, we're talking about former Rookie of the Year, All-NBA player, All-Stars, a guy that was on the verge of being the face of the league, and a team can't trade you. They can't trade you. Nobody wants you. And they're telling teams that, hey, if we get you, y'all gotta put something in there in the first round. It should be the other way around. And if this not a wake-up call for Ja, I don't know what else is going to open his eyes, right? Because you think that your value is high. You think, hey, if Memphis, you're not the place, I'm Ja Morant. Nah, that's not the case no more. And that's when you look at the bigger picture. Forget the fact that they can't trade him. That's one side of it. But we're talking about a guy that's a supermax player that's on the verge of no team wanting him and possibly could be out the league in the next 2 years?
So he missed 37% of his games in the last 3 seasons, Charania.
Yeah, and I love that you're going there, because in my heart and my soul, I feel like this is a make or break moment for him no matter what happens, because we know what's happening with the Memphis Grizzlies. They're in a rebuild, and wherever he ends up, when that destination is set, that's the opportunity that he has to seize. And you mentioned it. His talent is absolutely undeniable. No one can stop this right here in the NBA. He averaged the second most drives per game over the last 5 seasons. Ja, look at him getting to his bag downhill. This is what he's great at, just exploding. It does not matter if the help defender is there. You see the nice little up and down to finish that shot. But this is what separates him. You mentioned LeBron James, the comp. Well, if he was a guard, it's this guy, because we say blocked by James, blocked by Ja. On both ends of the floor, Ja Morant is an absolute game changer. And when things settle down, I do believe that he's had a lot of time to think when he was out there so far. You know, there were high moments, there were low moments, but that is a talent that is capable of transforming a franchise. But that opportunity does not come 1, 2, 3 times in the association. The next one is the most important.
Yeah, I have a saying, like, from a distance, yelling can seem like passion or it can seem like anger. And so what he's doing, the perception of how he's doing is anger, and it gives the wrong perception. He has to also change the way he has his demeanor, because then he could lead teams, because he has the talent to lead, but to be also a leader and all of those things, your perception has to change when you walk into the building. Because, yes, the Memphis Grizzlies, at some point, this is going to end. When he goes to his next stop, he has an opportunity to possibly make a team a championship contender because of his talent.
Right.
But now does he have the leadership skills, the ability to bring others, to help others, to bring – those are the things and questions that the great players we never question. We're not questioning those things about Giannis.
Yeah.
Can he lead? Has he no, we never.
Ethic, yeah.
But talent-wise, you were like Ja at one time. You were like Giannis, all of these guys are the same.
But think about it. It took for Luka to get traded, for him to actually wake up. No, I'm saying for him to wake up even more for a level of accountability of just addressing his weight and him being in shape.
Yeah.
Right? It took for him to open his eyes. You know what I mean?
Cover of Men's Health.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was
out of shape to be on the cover of Men's Health.
But I think of this season when he said, like, when he was asked about whether or not he still has joy in playing basketball, and he said that he didn't think so. And Ja Morant, when he is joyous, is so much fun to watch. And I think all of us as basketball fans hope to see that again soon.
NBA,